What does it mean to be a man? Today, men are lost, struggling, and lack purpose. Understanding what masculinity means to you is necessary if you want to find your path. Masculinity is not evil, it's not about suppressing women or about having power to dominate others. Real masculinity is about protecting others. True men are those that are able to put aside their selfish desires, excuses, and reasons to resent the world to instead help whoever they can. And that's what the men of Jujutsu Kaisen understand. Every man wants to have power. Without power, we can't protect ourselves, we can't make our dreams come true, and we definitely can't stand up to bullies. But what happens when most people get power is that they use it to dominate others. They use it on the very people who were once in their shoes. They do this because they don't ever want to feel weak again, and they think that the answer is to make others feel weak so that they can feel strong. But this isn't what Gojo does, and it's not what real men would do either. Gojo might look selfish on the outside, always doing whatever he wants and not caring about the consequences. But he is one of the most selfless characters in all of JJK, using his powers to protect his students, saving both Yuta and Yuji from being executed even when everyone else sees them as a threat. He nurtures his students, protects the weak, and is a pillar of strength and kindness for those he is responsible for. When Gojo takes in both Yuta and Yuji, both are lost in their purpose and are abandoned by the world. How he protects them is how any man should protect those weaker than them. He takes time to nurture them. Even when they don't see their full potential, he does. He pushes them to become capable men so that one day, these two helpless kids eventually become men who protect and save others. Maybe you didn't have a strong role model or someone who protected you like Gojo. Maybe the people in power, whether it was a parent, an older sibling, a teacher, maybe they used their power to bully and abuse you. This makes most people resentful of the very idea of power, that anyone who seeks it out is just evil. But the truth is, we should all seek out power, but for a purpose. Power to protect our friends, power to make our dreams come true, power to make the world a better place. This is exactly what Gojo does, and the reason why he is able to control his power is because he has morals to stand up for. He knows who he is, he knows who he needs to protect, and he acts on it. Most guys will just seek out power because they don't want to feel weak. But above all else, we need morals so that we can use our power effectively. There's a moment in JJK when Gojo and Geto are having a conversation about what is possible. Geto wants to clear the world of all non-sorcerers. That means killing literally every human. Gojo tells him that this is impossible, but Geto responds that it's not. Gojo could do this. Gojo literally has the power to change the entire world if he wanted to. But what does he use all of that power for instead? He uses it to be a teacher and nurture others. That's not because Gojo isn't ambitious or that he's lazy or that he doesn't know what to use his power for. It's that he knows what's important to him. Nurturing and taking care of the next generation. That's exactly what it means to be a man. Because once you are in a position of power, you are responsible for nurturing those underneath you. Those that are yet to grow, those that lack strength, those that lack power. When we're able to not only protect those under us, but also raise them up so that they can become stronger than us. That's what it means to be a good man. But having power isn't the only thing that defines you as being a man. It's also how we handle difficult emotions. Men are often pushed towards one of two ways when it comes to handling their emotions. One is entirely suppressing it. You see this in all of the men who claim to be stoic, cold, and unemotional. The other is to express their emotions all the time. These are the men that are constantly in their feelings, expressing them, and talking about their feelings all the time. One of these approaches is trying to close men off to feelings, while the other one is trying to get men to open up at all time. And both of these approaches are wrong. Being a man isn't about having zero emotions or about expressing it constantly. It's about being able to accept our emotions, express them, but still move forward. Yuji is the epitome of this. He wears his heart on his sleeve and gets punished for it by the world. His enemies prey on his vulnerabilities. Mahito constantly tries to maximize Yuji's suffering through their fights, through the people he kills, and through the destruction of Yuji's emotional state. When you see all of the deaths and tragedies that Yuji experiences, no one could suppress the weight of the emotions that Yuji feels. And yet, if he spent all of his time talking about his feelings, he would never be able to move forward. Some people think suppressing their emotions is what it means to be a man. To never cry in front of another person. To not let someone you love know that you're hurting. While others tell you to go to therapy to explore all of your trauma and emotions. Life can at times be a struggle so great that we don't know if we can handle everything. We all need emotional support from others when we're on the verge of breaking down. This happens to Yuji when he breaks down after all of the deaths he sees in Shibuya, saying he can't forgive himself and that his conviction to be a sorcerer was just an excuse. He wanted to protect others. He wanted to save them. But no matter how hard he tried, he failed. All of this might be true, but even still, people are still relying on him and trusting their lives to him. After all the tears he sheds for those he lost, he still gets back up and fights. This is what accepting your emotions look like. Men are not emotionless, but we also don't benefit from being in our feelings all of the time either. What men need to do is acknowledge our emotions when they're too heavy to carry, but still not let them get in the way of what needs to be done. Yuji carries pain, regret, and shame for what Sukuna did in Shibuya, but as much as he blames himself, wants to give up, and even die, he has to move forward to help his friends. Yes, you need to have power, and yes, you need to accept your emotions, but why? That's because you need to use your entire being to help and protect other people. The truest definition of being a man isn't about having power or being completely stoic and unemotional. It's about being able to protect and serve others. True men are those that are able to help others even when they are at the lowest of their lows. Right before Yuji's grandfather passes away, he says one final thing to him. You're a strong kid, so help people. Yuji lives by this, offering help to everyone and wanting to save as many lives. But this is also a curse. The more people he saves, the more that Mahito and Sukuna kill. The more that he trusts his friends, the more friends that he loses. The stronger he gets, the less people he is able to help. So why does he continue to try to help people? After all the death and destruction that Sukuna causes in Shibuya, wouldn't it be better if he just disappeared, instead of letting Sukuna continue to use his body to hurt more people? We might not have an evil ancient curse inside of us, but every man can relate to the feeling of being a burden to those that they love, and sometimes thinking that the world would be better off if we weren't around. We constantly think about all of our mistakes, our failures, how we hurt those we love, how we burden the people around us, how we fail to stay strong in moments of weakness. These feelings of insecurity can drive us, but they are also something that we need to learn to let go of if we're going to move forward. When we think like this, it's natural to think that our existence is a curse. Yuji experiences this at his lowest point in Shibuya. After Sukuna takes over his body and completely destroys Shibuya, he is forced to watch helplessly as Mahito kills both Nanami and Kugisaki in front of him. In the face of these back-to-back traumatic events, it's only natural for Yuji's conviction to fade, for him to want to give up, to hate himself for failing, and to think the world would be better off without him. But that's when Todo saves him from the depths of depression and asks him one simple question. What have you been entrusted with? Yuji's grandfather, Nanami, and Obara entrusted Yuji to carry on their hopes and dreams, and in their last moments, they still believed in him. When he remembers this, he realizes he was about to use his sins to take the easy way out and run away from the burdens he's been entrusted with. I asked at the start of this video, what does it mean to be a man? We might have an understanding that being a man is about having power to dominate others. It's about not letting our emotions control us. It's about being able to have power to do what we want and act in the way that we think is best. All of this might sound like you're being a man, but really, that is just selfishness. That is someone who has been hurt by the world wanting to be someone who hurts others. It's an endless spiral when the strongest men are those that are able to put an end to painful spirals. Being a man is someone who is able to protect others, who is able to accept their emotions but still move forward positively. Someone who is able to help and serve others even when they are facing their own struggles. Understanding who you are and what it means to be a man can be difficult when you're going through this process alone. I know it was for me because I didn't have really any good role models growing up, and I've made so many mistakes and honestly continue to make mistakes as I grow into a man that I can be proud of. But if you're someone who just needs a little bit more guidance, I do offer a Big Brother call that you can check in the link down below. I'd love to be a part of your journey and help you to become a better man. But whether or not you choose to book a call with me, I want to leave you with this. What have you been entrusted with? Who could you help that would make the suffering that you're going through worth it? When you have your answers to these two seemingly simple questions, yet so deep, that's when you will be on the path to becoming a true man, a man that you can be proud of. And I hope that when you look back on your life, you can say that you're proud of the man that you became.